Hello and welcome to Module 17 of our Small Business Certified AI Strategist program. You've come a long way evaluating AI solutions, finalizing the value analysis, and shaping a comprehensive AI roadmap. Now we're going to focus on delivering that roadmap in a polished, professional format that resonates with stakeholders across the board. Now, let's start by walking through a sample AI roadmap report. Picture a spreadsheet with multiple columns and tabs, each capturing a key aspect of the roadmap. For example, we will have the AI tool name, where we have a brief identifier like invoice automation bot or predictive sales model. We'll also have the AI wish statement, the wish statement or statements that inspired each tool. We'll have an ROI estimate that we derived from our value analysis that is the anticipated cost savings or the revenue gains, which is often expressed as a percentage or a payback period. We'll also have a dev start date and a launch date of the projected timeline for rolling out the AI tool in a specific department. We'll have links of supporting documents. So we'll have hyperlinks to the RFPs, the AI tool description, the value analysis, and the AI tool scorecard for more details. And then there's also going to be budget rows. These budget rows will include things like the AI tool development, the one-time or the phased development costs that are associated with each AI tool. We'll also have any licensing costs. These will be the sum of the month of the licensing costs for any recurring fees or third-party platforms like APIs or any vendor services. Then there's going to be another column in the budget section that will be the infrastructure budget, like any cloud or on-prem hardware or additional IT resources. And then there's going to be a maintenance budget. The maintenance budget is for ongoing support, bug fixes, and updates that's more aligned with the engineering end of things. And then finally, we'll have implementation. This is the residual fee that your agency would charge for rolling out and training their employees, ensuring the client sees exactly what it costs to get up and running. And then finally, there's going to be the total budget. This is where you sum up the entire budget section month by month so the client can get an understanding of what the anticipated expense would be for each of these items. So why do we have these budget rows? Together, these budget rows, they highlight the total cost of ownership for each AI tool. So stakeholders immediately see the full financial picture. They understand the development, the licensing, the infrastructure, the maintenance, and the implementation fees all in one spot. This stage, your roadmap is infinitely more valuable if readers can instantly access the documentation behind each AI tool. What most individuals want to do at this stage is compile it all into a single document. And the problem that exists is realistically, at this point, the AI roadmap will be over 100 pages long. And that is a recipe for your client not actually reviewing the AI document. And we want to avoid just overwhelming the client with an AI roadmap that eventually just sits on their desk and they don't take action on. So this is why we've developed it in this format, in this spreadsheet format, where we have a spreadsheet with instant access to the documentation behind each AI tool. So that's why we've added hyperlink columns to each AI tool, and it's so critical. And these hyperlink columns include the RFP link, where when the user reviews the AI tool that is proposed, they can click on the RFP link and it will take the user to the relevant RFP describing the vendor requirements, the timelines, and the compliance needs. They could also very quickly click on the AI tool description link if they want details of the AI tool that's being built, if they want to see the flow chart, if they want to see the timeline or the breakdown of the budget. That's all inside of this AI tool description. Additionally, they can click on the value analysis for that AI tool so they can get details of the description of the financial modeling for this particular AI tool that dives into the cost savings, the break-even points, and the intangible benefits. And then lastly, there is the AI tool scorecard link where they can review how the AI tool has been scored, and they can see the final weighted score of that AI tool and how it was calculated, and understand things like security and compliance aspects for that particular tool. Now, what you want to do is keep each one of these links in their own columns and in their own rows labeled something like references. So that way each AI tool has effectively a one-stop repository for each of its supporting documents. Another best practice in roadmap delivery is including columns like the ROI column. Including the ROI data in your roadmap is important because stakeholders want to see, especially small businesses, they want to see at a glance how each AI tool contributes to cost savings or revenue growth. So in these columns, the ROI columns, you will have them typically broken down as this is your ROI expressed as a percentage or a payback period column. So let's say in your value analysis for invoice automation bot, it shows a 12-month payback. Put that in there. Another tool might project a 15% annual ROI. List it in there so executives can quickly see this is the tool, here's my supporting links, this is the payback of that tool. Because the idea is if that is compelling enough, they might say, I want to see the information behind that. Let me look at the value analysis. So what we want is just a quick snapshot for each tool that we're recommending. And we want to place either the ROI in percentage terms or a payback period timeframe. Now, let's say if your value analysis, if it shows a few different scenarios where if it has indicated that there might be a conservative versus an aggressive ROI, you could display a range of ROI like 10 to 20% or a break even of 9 to 12 months. If that is how you want to structure the payback period or the ROI, that's completely fine as well. This will help set realistic expectations while highlighting the potential upside. Now, just remember that these ROI columns, they reinforce accountability. Once the roadmap is approved, the organization will expect you to track the actual outcomes against these targets. So once you've created the supporting documentation, you've added the ROI columns, you have the Gantt chart ready, and you have the budget column filled out, you want to ensure that you have a user-friendly experience in this spreadsheet. So to ensure that user-friendly experience, it's often helpful to have a summary tab at the front of your spreadsheet. This is where you'll have a high-level overview, a concise statement of the overall AI strategy, the key milestones, and the ROI goals. This could list the top 3 to 5 AI tools with the biggest impact so viewers can immediately see the priorities. You can link to internal SOPs or standard operating procedures. An example would be how to fill out an AI tool scorecard or how to handle brand compliance. And then also any documentation that you've created up to this point, like the goals template that you've filled out, the brand positioning framework, anything that you've created, you go ahead and link that here because these are assets that you created on behalf of the client. And then lastly, on this summary document, you want to link to any external resources, any compliance guidelines like GDPR or any HIPAA guidelines or any open source libraries that might guide technical teams. A well-organized summary tab is often the first things executive teams and the team leads check. And if it's intuitive and it's hyperlinked appropriately and they understand where everything's at, they will gain an immense appreciation for you not dumping a multi-100-page document in their lap and saying, here's your roadmap. They will gain appreciation for that. You'll reduce confusion and you'll foster quicker alignment with the next phase of the road mapping exercise. So now, how do we actually deliver the AI roadmap? Once your AI roadmap is polished with the budget columns for development, licensing, infrastructure, maintenance, and implementation, then you've added the ROI data and the document links and the summary page. The final step is actual distribution. Once you have a polished roadmap spreadsheet and all the hyperlinks are there and you've made sure all the hyperlinks work, you want to share this spreadsheet in a platform like SharePoint or Google Drive. You want to share this via email, and this is your actual delivery of the AI roadmap. So before you do this, you definitely want to review. You want to check to make sure that each tool's timeline, budgets, ROI data are consistent with the day-to-day realities and consistent with the documentation that you've created. Once you have your internal review, you can go ahead and deliver this final version to the actual client. And what you're going to ask them to do is 3 things. You're going to ask them to review. You want to ask them to review each tool that is recommended. You want them to review each tool's timeline, the budget breakdown, the ROI data. You want to understand if they believe that this is possible in integrating with their day-to-day responsibilities. Then the second thing you want to do is suggest any edits. You want to solicit input from any of the department heads or the leadership team that you're delivering this report to. So that way you can understand any clarifications or adjustments that come up in their mind as they receive this report. And then finally, you want to express the process. The process is that you will be scheduling a presentation where you will be reviewing effectively a summary of this report. You will plan to present this roadmap in a formal meeting. And once you gather that final feedback, you are going to be aiming for sign-off that confirms everyone's on board with the rollout dates, the resource needs, and the expected returns. So you need to set the stage and set the expectation that this is the roadmap. We're going to have a meeting. This meeting, I'm going to have my presentation and I'm going to explain everything to you, and I'm going to answer any questions that come up. But our goal is we want to finalize this. This is the draft roadmap. We want to make sure that after the presentation, we're going to end up solidifying this roadmap and putting it in place, because the next phase is implementation. Now, note that implementation is a residual fee that your agency charges for the rollout, the training, and the management of the AI stack. Now, from a business perspective or an agency perspective, the delivery of the roadmap is just the first stage of your business. I promise you, you do not want to be a business that is just doing roadmaps. You want to be a business that is doing roadmaps for the sake of helping the business through the implementation phase. And that implementation phase is helping them with the rollout of the AI tools, the management of the build out of the AI tools, the training of employees, the reporting of the effectiveness of the AI tools. And then on an annual basis, doing this all over again, where you're putting together the strategic AI roadmap during Q4 of every single year. You want to be known as the AI individual or the AI team for that particular business. So implementation will become your bread and butter. This is what will build your agency from a lifestyle business to a multi-million-dollar organization that someone will want to acquire someday. Now, that concludes Module 17, the roadmap delivery. And remember, how you package your roadmap can be just as crucial as what you include. By adding budget rows like the AI tool development, the licensing budget, the infrastructure budget, the maintenance budget, the implementation budget, this illustrates the total cost of ownership, which is incredibly important for your client to understand what it's going to take for them to implement this AI roadmap as is. Additionally, hyperlinking is critical to the organizational structure because we want to hyperlink any useful documents for each tool. This includes the RFP for each tool, the AI tool description for each tool, the value analysis for each tool, and the scorecard for each tool. And then finally, summarizing everything in a summary tab is everything to being user-friendly, because we want to make sure that we have a snapshot of everything. Because what a lot of people will do is if they don't have that summary tab, that is their first impression, they'll just go straight to a number and they'll see a big number and they'll go, nope. So we want to avoid that and guide them through that process. So that way you can justify those individual numbers that will stick out to these users, because this is a new journey for them. This is a new understanding of, or new technology that they're looking at integrating in their business. So being able to express the return on investment, the payback period, and then also provide value with all the information that you have expressed to them, it all creates this nice comprehensive package that will uphold the presentation aspect of the roadmap, which is what we're going to be getting into in Module 18. Now, at this stage, the roadmap that you deliver, it is your final version of the roadmap, but it hasn't been approved yet. It's just comprehensive, it's easy to navigate, and it's everything that you've put together based on the information that you've gathered. Next up, we'll review how you can refine your roadmap presentation. We'll cover a little bit about design and Q&A best practices So this way you can confidently present your final plan to your audience and move you along to the steps of receiving an approved, finalized roadmap so you can move on to the next stage of engagement, which is implementation of the plan. I'll see you there.